Alrighty, my friends, what's going on? Elijah here with Western Landscape. So we installed sod, and I want to tell you what to do and what not to do. So we installed sod at our shop. We wanted to do some tests, okay? And so we wanted to see how long you could wait to install sod and would it still work or not. Now we actually had a project finish up. We had some leftover sod, so we used a little bit of that. But some of the sod we installed the next day. Some of the sod we installed 4 days later, and then some of the sod we actually waited 6 days. Okay, and these were not just any random days. These were hot, humid days. So it's July 9th right now, and we installed these a couple of weeks ago. It was about 2.5 weeks ago. We installed them. We've been watering, and I wanted to show you guys the results. Okay, so the sod that you see behind me, so you can see the area that we seeded right here, and then this is all the sod. Okay, this is the stuff that we did immediately after we got it, essentially. So we did it the same day when we installed the sod, and you can see here 2.5 weeks later, this is lush grass. It's ready to be mowed. It's getting super long and all of that. Frankly, came in super well. We seeded at the same time, so that's about 2.5 weeks of seeding. You can kind of see those results. We got the sprinklers going here, but and then I want to show you the sod, some of the other sod that we installed. We also, because it's for some reason we got just ridiculous amounts of rain. Some of the sod kind of got affected by that, but and you could even tell when we were rolling out the sod, it stunk like it was rotten, and it was so hot from all the heat just beating on it day after day. So this sod here we installed 4 days after we got it. Okay, so it had been sitting around in the hot sun for 4 days, just sitting on a trailer, and then we installed it, and surprisingly we actually had pretty good results. Okay, so you can see behind me these little dead patches. So this is the sod from right here to right there. Okay, we wanted to see how it would do. So from right here to right there, this is about 2.5 weeks later. We've been watering it, taking care of it. We have basically dead spots kind of all along here, but honestly, surprisingly, it came in way better than I thought it would. There's a couple of pieces that came in all right. So like this piece right here, like that's pretty good. And obviously there's some pretty substantial dead spots, and then you can see kind of along there where it didn't come in nearly as nicely. Okay, but keep in mind this was 4 days. Typically they tell you you should get it down the same day that you install it. Now if it's a little bit cooler, you can sometimes get away with, or you can certainly get away with longer than that. They want to play it safe, but as a good practice, it is always best to put it down the same day. Okay, and then we still had some leftover sod, and we're like, hey, what would happen if we waited 6 days? So we're like, let's give it a little bit longer, and we'll see what happens. Okay, and I'll show you what 6 days did. Okay, so remember the results over there was our 4 days, pretty good. This is our 6 days. Okay, so now you can see where it just made this line in the middle. So this is 2 rolls of sod wide, and so that is just basically along the edge where the sod survived. Okay, now there were some pieces that did all right, and I'll kind of keep walking here so you can see it, but the majority, or much more of this sod died in comparison. So you can kind of see all of those dead spots and where it was looking good. I'm gonna kind of get down here further. Kind of just gets worse and worse and worse. But the important thing to know is, so this line looks so silly. This line down the middle, that's along the edges. So where we would, the way they're rolled up, the edges of the sod, they can essentially get the sunlight, get dried out, cool off in the in the evening. They're not just getting cooked in the center of that sod roll, and that's why in the middle there, that's what actually lived. And so that's what 6 days worth of waiting did. And then as you can see, our crappy seeding job over there. But anyways, that's what it looks like if you wait on the sod. So certainly don't recommend waiting that long. But if you do, that's the kind of results that you can expect. Thought that was interesting. Wanted to share it. Hey, one other cool point. I was just talking to one of my sales guys. He's walking out. I was trying to figure out what was causing the those little divots, right? So you can see here as we kind of walk through, you see these like weird spots. It's where it actually washed out because it rained so ridiculously hard. We did staple it down too, but it still rained. So you see all these different spots. Boom, boom, boom. So the sod actually comes in rolls. Okay, whoa. Throw my phone over. So the sod comes in rolls. Picture, they're big rolls. These are the big sod rolls, not the little guys that you get from a smaller sod farm. These are the big sod rolls that you roll out with a skid steer. And all those little dips are at the bottom of the sod rolls, so you can see the compression and the weight from the sod on top actually certainly has a negative effect on the sod. Okay, so the more compressed that is, the worse that it's going to be. So I guess small lesson learned would be, don't add any weight to it. If you had to, you could just sort of take the top of the sod roll or something like that. Or, best practice, if you do have sod and you're like, oh my goodness, we can't get this down today, your best practice is going to be to actually roll that sod out. And then you can water it too. So roll the sod out like you're installing it, even if it's on gravel, on pavement, anything like that, just to give it some air so it's not just cooking in there. Hope you found this valuable. If you got any questions, let me know down in the comments. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.